All right, so we cracked open a miniature case, well, a miniature box, but we opened up two fresh new cases for the fundraiser. So thank you all to any of you who to Diadems and for those who've bid in the past and have received your figures. Uh, DJ Delta asks, "Can I ask what your top 5 ways to start off a homebrewed campaign?" Or so you mean hooks? Like how do you hook people into an adventure? There's some very classic ones. Everyone already knows each other. They're already a band of friends or mercenaries or something along those lines, which you could use that as a start in itself. Usually, you put them in some kind of a contained environment, such as a tavern, a city, a ship, or you use in media res or in medias res, which is in the middle of the action. And so everyone starts with their characters, and your very first session is combat, right? It's a wartime scenario. They have to think. They have to think quickly and act on their heels and work together as a team. And suddenly they're plunged into the midst of things, and they need to be this band of brothers in the middle of combat. There's a lot of different ways you can get a party together and in the darkness bind them. You could. I'm not against certain writing tropes. If you want to do the waking up in a bar and you have amnesia, those are two. Pardon. Those are two different ways you can go about it. Amnesia tends to be. It's not that it can't be done well, but I think it's done often, so that it's. You would want to make sure that you are having a unique take on the amnesia. Final Fantasy VIII is a very good example of that, by the way. Yeah, it is kind of cliche. Not that you can't do it in some sort of a good way. It is still a hook. It very much is. But I think your players will ask, okay, so I have amnesia. I want to explore this. It does put that seed. I want to explore my past because I don't know it. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I wearing this armor? Or what are these colors? What is this armband or the standard I'm bearing or the coat of arms on my shield? So you would need to make sure if you do take NeoRealm's advice and you go that route, you can. It's going to create a lot of questions that you should be able to answer, if not immediately, over time. But look, I'm talking about starting on a ship or in a bar. That's also those are tropes as well. So I don't mean to pick on you, NeoRealms. I'm not saying one is better than the other. But for all of these, you have to consider: does the party already know each other? Are they all strangers? Are they a band of brothers who are battle hardened already? I mean, they may be level 1, but we can fluff it up a little bit. You know, that are level 1 and scrappy and ready to go in their first fight. Maybe they're even being used as shock troops or cannon fodder, and it's up to them to survive in this first encounter. Or maybe they're all just random people who are at the same place at the same time. If that's the case, then you either have to suspend some disbelief and just say, "Yeah, sure, I'm not doing anything for the next ever, and I will happily drop everything in my life and go on a campaign." So I would recommend exploring that. And honestly, DJ, before you have a session 1, this is why you need a session 0. And in fact, for our Tuesday game we play here, we have a session 0. You're welcome to go and watch it. GM Vault listed a video on what he recommends happen on a session 0, and I think you'll find that there's a lot of DMs here who would also recommend having a session 0 so that your session 1 is a little bit easier to handle, and if people do need to suspend disbelief, there's some context to it. And characters don't have to reveal everything either in a session 0. But it lets you talk about the basics. I hope I was able to answer your question. NeoRealms gave you some good advice in there too. If you have any other questions, you are free to ask. I will happily answer them. we're gonna make a wizard character, right? We made a generic fighter yesterday, and so for today, let's make a caster and explore how casters operate in Pathfinder. Although, let's get a little tabletop music going first. What do you say? What do you say? What kind of music do we want? There we go. Oh, I have to get my... There we go. All right, Neo Realms, thank you for coming by. I'll talk to you about the project at hand. And I love your input and see if there's something that we can do together, Neo. Anytime you stream, you know you're welcome to. I'll try and keep an eye out for you, and I do pop in if I can to say hi. I'll have a Matton shown you soon. I don't know if I get that. But yes, Neo Realms, awesome artist. Go check him out. Just please see his channel, watch what he does. Very personable, can answer a lot of questions. A great guy. No, it's fine. Neo, I do the same thing when I'm on my mobile. I can't help but just like, if the autocorrect doesn't get me sometimes, it'll be like, I'll just like fat finger letters and numbers and oh my gosh. Have a good night, Neo. Alrighty. I think we can add a little bit of randomness this time. We know that we're going to do a wizard, and we know that we're going to at least start it at level 5. Maybe we can tack on some extra levels after that, DJ. But I want to start at 5 just to incorporate in a stat bump as well. And to see how we can create a character not at level 1 and take things step by step. Because there's a lot that changes with every single level on your Pathfinder character sheet. Alright, so we can choose an ancestry: dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, human. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I am going to roll a 6-sided die. And let's find out. Oh, pardon me. Let's find out which race our character will be. 6. Alright, so we're going to go human. However, humans can be half-orcs or half-elves as their level 1 trait or their level 1 racial feat or ancestry. So what I'll do now is I'll roll a 3-sided die. On a 1 will be human, on a 2 will be half-elf, and on a 3 will be half-orc. So here we go. 3-sided die. 1. Okay, I guess we're making another human. Oh, pardon me. I don't want to say it's a mistake. It was a good meal. I ate before going live, and so, you know, when your body's digesting and you're like, oh, I'm so at peace and comfortable. I'm not sleepy. This isn't boring. It's just I'm processing my meal. Okay, so our ancestry is... we are humans. By the way, humans are medium-sized. Or I guess we'll just go medium. We get 2 ability boosts, but no ability drawback. So all of our abilities start at 10 in this system. And then we get 2 different 2-point bumps. Being a wizard, I imagine that intelligence is going to be important. So let's put 1 there. And I don't know. Maybe we're making a really we are making a big old smarty pants. So why don't we go int whiz? Yes, everything starts at 10. And then we're going to be getting bumps elsewhere as well. So when we look at a wizard, now we're going to get another ability bump in intelligence because that is the key ability score for a wizard. And it is saying that Dex and Con are secondary ability scores for us to bear in mind here. Wizard is an eminent scholar whose reservoirs of arcane knowledge power his wondrous spells and abilities. So we're going to add another 2 to our intelligence because we're a wizard. So now we're going to look at ancestries, okay? Humans. We are medium-sized. We have a starting 8 hit points. And our speed is 25 feet. There's our 2 free ability boosts over here. Languages common and 1 other additional language selected from those which you have access. So we have common, something else. If your int score is 14 or higher, you can select 1 of the languages from the list of common languages on page 40. And so we actually have 2 other languages that we can learn. And our traits are that we are a human and humanoid, if it comes down to referencing from spells or other abilities or traits. Alright, so congratulations, we're humans, and we are going to get a 1st level ancestry feat. Adapted spell could be interesting. Last time we did the skill training. I want to do something different this time. You want Gnome and Elf? We can do that. Let's see what we get with general training. Your adaptability manifests in your mastery of a range of useful abilities. You gain a first level general feat. So down here under our Ancestry, we're taking general training, and that's going to lead to let's go to general feats. What does magical shorthand do? I went too far. Yeah, there's wizard, but I want feats. Oh, come on now. I'm scrolling way too fast and furious here. Magical shorthand. Learning new spells comes easy to you. Choose arcane, divine, occult, or primal. You can choose a magic tradition only if you're an expert in associated skill. You take only 10 minutes per spell level to learn a spell of that type, rather than 1 hour per spell. If you fail to learn a spell of that type, you can try to learn it again after 1 week. If you're a master of the chosen type of magic's associated skill, learning a spell only takes 5 minutes per spell level. And if you're legendary, it only takes 1 minute. You can select this feat multiple times. Each time you do so, select a different magic tradition. Okay, so yeah, we'll take general training into magical shorthand. So we'll learn our spells more quickly. The feat of a general, DJ. You try saluting with a foot. Dark Wolf. The Woo has mac. Some mac and cheese. Did you throw anything else in there? Do you eat mac and cheese with ketchup out there, anyone? Do any one of you put ketchup in mac and cheese? That is a thing, by the way. Not here, says DJ. Alright, so we chose our Ancestry and our Ancestry feat. Now we're going to choose a background. What is the background of our character? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There are 19 backgrounds in the playtest version here. So why don't we produce a 19-sided die and we'll just randomly roll it. Oh, yeah, that's true, DJ. We will... I'll get to that in just a second. Thank you for the reminder. I'll show you one way I propose that we could go about that. Buffalo sauce, yep. Hot sauce, buffalo sauce is good in mac and cheese also. And yeah, DJ, you can just roll a d20 and re-roll a 20 if you get it. 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so we have a fighter that was a scholar, and wouldn't you know, we have a wizard that's a scholar as well. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be to intelligence or wisdom, and the other's a freebie. Well then, we'll put our 2 here and go up to a 16. And then we will have the hit points. And we'll go up to a 12 in con. Actually, you know what? Let's bring our will score up a little bit higher. There we go. Choose Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Religion. You gain the Assurance skill feat in your chosen skill. You're trained in the Academia lore skill. So there's Academia. We're trained in it. And we receive the Assurance skill feat in Arcana. There we go. Yeah, you know what? They must have gone to the same university, DJ. And clearly one was the nerd and one was the jock, in some form or fashion. Though they took the same classes, they just had different extracurricular activities, right? One played in intramural sports, and the other one, I don't know, went to astronomy club or something along those lines. All right, so there's our background. Next up, choose a class. All right, so we have chosen wizard. A wizard. Come down here. You are an eternal. You're an eternal student of the arcane secrets of the universe. You treat magic like a science, cross-referencing the latest texts on practical spellcraft with ancient tomes of lost magic to discover and understand how magic works. Yet magical theory is vast. There's no way you can study it all. You either specialize in one of the 8 schools of magic, gaining deeper understanding of the nuances of those spells above all others, or favor a broader approach emphasizing the way all magic comes together at the expense of depth. We're a wizard, Ari. Alright, so our key ability is intelligence, and we already added that in. Our head points, we get 6 plus our con modifier. So we start with 8 for being a human, plus 6 is 14, plus our con modifier is 0. So that's what we have. We have 14 hit points at level 1. Okay? We are trained in perception. We are trained in fortitude. We are trained in reflex, but we are an expert at will. You're trained in a number of skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier. So that's going to be a 5. Because our modifier currently is 3. So we can receive training in 5 skills. So Arcana. Maybe we can dip a little bit into occultism. Maybe a little bit of knowledge nature. And how about a little medicine? And we get one more. Hey, Pneumonica! Welcome! We are making a wizard now to understand the magic using classes in Pathfinder 2e. Medicine is always good to have. Oh, no, that is 5. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The one we got from our background. So we still get to choose one more. You know what? Maybe we can make magic stuff. Let's go crafting. All right, so specifically, we have some very specific weapons in which we are trained. So I think we can use this lineup here, and we can just put club, dagger. Actually, wait, does this? Okay, no, that just scrolls. All right, so we're gonna just put wizard weapons on page 135. And we're trained in them. We are untrained in all armor. So if we are wearing armor, that's no bueno. We are trained in arcane spell rolls and DCs, and in attack rolls for arcane spells. And our signature skills are Arcana and Crafting. So we're going to click where it says Signature. Hi, Cameron. Yeah, good to see you. We're 2 for 2 now. It's going very well. We are making a wizard tonight so that we can understand how spellcasting works in Pathfinder. 2e playtest version. DJ goes into a random tomb. An 11 and 15. Yep, even with disadvantage, you still got it. Nice. So you defeat the were-rat, DJ. Enjoy your EXP. Oh, Dark Wolf got it. I'm sorry, Dark Wolf. Well, DJ, you know what? Thank you for contributing to the conversation. Enjoy your bonus EXP. Yeah, sorry about that. Dark Wolf, I didn't know if you were in lurk mode or not. Because if you're not lurking, then I will leave the experience points to you. Because I do appreciate it if you can provide that service. So there you go, DJ. I guess you got a little bit of a boost to go into your next dungeon, or your next adventure, I should say. All right, class features. We get arcane spellcasting. At first level, you can prepare up to 2 first level spells and 4 cantrips each morning from the spells in your spell book, plus 1 extra cantrip and a spell of your chosen school of each level you can cast if you are a specialist wizard. Okay, thank you, Dark Wolf. That's right. Dark Wolf has a very good point. Prepared spells remain available to you until you cast them, or until you prepare your spells again. The number of spells you can prepare are called your spell slots. As you increase in level as a wizard, your number of spell slots and the highest level of spells you can cast from a spell slot increase, as shown on the wizard spells per day table on 137. Some of your spells require you to attempt a spell roll to see how effective they are, or have your enemies roll against your spell DC. Since your key ability is intelligence, your spell rolls and spell DCs use your intelligence modifier. See page 291 for details on calculating your spell rolls and spell DCs. When you get spell slots of second level and higher, you can prepare lower level spells in those slots to strengthen them. This increases the spell's level to match the heightened spell slot. Many spells have specific improvements when they're heightened to certain levels. And this is a breakaway from 5th edition, because you can prepare a first level spell as a wizard, but you can, on the fly, cast it at a higher, through a higher spell slot. You don't have to prepare a first level spell as a second level spell, like you do here. I will say the bacon bits did nothing for the Mac. Yeah, and you know, bacon seems like it would actually add something nice. Bubonic, considering a universalist or a specialist wizard, I haven't decided which. A cantrip is always automatically heightened to the highest level of spell you can cast as a wizard. For example, as a first level wizard, the highest spell, the highest level of spell you can cast is first, so your cantrips are first level spells. As a 5th level wizard, which is what we're gonna gen to, the highest level spell you can cast is third, so your cantrips are 3rd level spells. You start with a spell book worth 10 silver pieces or less, which you receive for free. The spell book contains your choice of 10 arcane cantrips and 8 first level arcane spells. You choose these from the common spells on the arcane spell list for this book, or from other arcane spells you gain access to. Each time you gain a level, you automatically add 2 more arcane spells to your spell book. These can be of any level you can cast. That's similar to 5th Ed. You can also use the Arcana skill to add other spells that you find as described on 146. If you're creating a higher level character, it's usually easiest to assume you always picked new spells of the highest level possible. At an odd numbered level, this means that in addition to your total of 10 cantrips, your spell book holds 2 spells of your highest level and 4 spells of all lower levels. At an even numbered level, it means you'd have 10 cantrips and 4 spells of every level. Hi, Rhodium. Welcome. Bubonic One says, I can say the Universalist is misunderstood. Sure, you think you lose that extra spell slot, but there's a caveat for it? I imagine so. I don't mind making a Universalist, honestly, Bubonic One. If you want to be a specialist wizard, choose one school of magic in which to specialize. You gain 1 additional spell slot for each spell level you can cast, but you may use these spells to prepare only spells from your arcane school. You can also prepare 1 additional cantrip each day, which must be from your specialized school. You gain spell points and a special power based on your school, see Arcane Schools 137, and add another spell from your chosen school to your spell book. You can place some of your magical power into an item called an arcane focus. Each day when you prepare your spells, you can designate a single item you own as your arcane focus. This is typically an item associated with spellcasting, such as a wand, ring, or staff. But you are free to designate a weapon or other item. You gain the Drain Arcane Focus free action. You expend the magical power stored in your focus. This gives you the ability to cast one spell you prepared today and previously cast without spending a spell slot. You must still complete the required spell casting actions and meet the spell's other requirements. Okay. Sounds a little bit like the Arcane Recovery in 5th Ed. Then we get some skill feats, wizard feats, general feats, all at level 2. And skill increase and ability boost and an Ancestry feat. Well, Rhodey, you get a lot of options. It's just a lot to keep track of. The math isn't hard. There's just a lot of it spread around your character sheet. And here's our wizard spells per day. So it's not int plus level like it is in 5th Ed. It's a static progression here. So at 5th level, to which we're generating this character, we're going to have 3 firsts, 3 seconds, and 2 thirds. Yes, Pneumonica, I am concerned about that. One math error can cascade into others, and you might have players that, in good faith, accidentally miss something. And then you have other players who unfortunately might, oh, I accidentally missed this. Oh, shoot, you mean I've been rolling with an extra +2 this whole time? Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed something when I was leveling up and changing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23... Yeah, so my hand must have slipped, and I got a +2 somewhere when I was changing over 30 variables on my sheet. Oops. You know how things go. You're changing over 30 variables that change every time you level up in this game, and your hand slips, and you accidentally add or subtract an extra 1 or 2. It can happen, right? So let's add this down here on the spell page. We get 10 cantrips and 8 first-level arcane spells. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so these are not going to be filled here. And then we're going to get 8 first-level spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At level 2, we get 2 other spells. And this is natural progression. We're going to presume that we didn't transcribe a scroll or we didn't purchase magic otherwise. Although I think when it says level, that's the spell level, not the character level. So in that case, we should do this. There we go. Okay, there. Uh-oh, DJ's going in for an epic. An Archlich, huh? Disadvantage of 1 and a 14. DJ, you say, you can't possess me, Mr. Lich. I quit. And you fall on your own sword in front of him. And you show that Lich what for. Yeah, you now serve the Archlich as an undead minion. All right, we're also going to be getting a skill feat at second. At 2, 4, 6, and 8. Skill feat, yeah, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay. So now what we can do, because we know we wanna gen up a 5th level, we can just go to the different feat sections and choose our 2nd and 4th, and then we'll go to our general feats and choose one at 3rd, and then we can go to our Ancestry feats and get one at 5th. And we also have some some features and such. Maybe not anything special. I mean, there's arcane spellcasting and all that. If you want to list that out, I guess you could. Oh, I'm sure, because they get a skill feat every level, Bubonic One. Yeah. You can choose not to specialize in an arcane school and to instead become a universalist wizard. If you do, you can use Drain Arcane Focus once each day per each spell level you cast, instead of only once per day. You also gain an extra wizard class feat. Ooh, okay. So we're going to get, I guess, 2 here, because we're a universalist wizard. So let's do that. Right? So what all are we going to get in total then? So we're going to get a first level class feat. I want to make a list so I can keep track of what we're doing here. Alright, so we're going to get level 1 class feat. Or actually, let's do this. Class feat at 1, 2, 4. Okay. A skill feat at 2, 4. And Ancestry. We technically took the 1 already, so I'm not going to worry about that. But we get another Ancestry at 5. And we're also going to get a skill increase at 3. And ability boosts at 5. Oh, we also get a skill increase at 5 too. Okay. And then we're also going to be getting HP 5 times 5 times 6 plus 5 times 0 from our hit points. Okay. So with this kind of a cheat sheet, this is what we're going to get. And now when we dip over to class feats, we can just look at class feats in all the 3 levels. A rogue can legendary 6 skills and expert a 7th. Pneumatica C, while I do think that character creation is rightfully the most time-consuming element of the game, there's a point of absurdity to it, and I'm thinking this is crossing it. That's without picking a general or skill feat that boosts up a skill. Hand of the Universalist is awesome, makes your dagger a returning thrown weapon. Yeah, and a stat gain is 4 stats are boosted, and they have to be different ones. Okay, so let's start here and go with Alright, so here's our wizard feats, right? Our class feats. We're going to get to choose 3 of them. And it looks... Oh, one of them could be a 4th level one, but the other 2 have to be 1st levels. You expend a prepared spell to counter the triggering creature's casting of the same spell. You lose your spell slot as if you had cast the triggering spell. Oh, yeah. This is the old 3rd edition counter spell. So if you had a 3rd level fireball or whatever prepared, you could instead counter someone else's 3rd level fireball. It was kind of a guessing game. All right, so let's choose 3 of them, and one of them can be a 4th level. You gain the Hand of the Apprentice Universalist power. You gain a pool of spell points you can spend to cast Universalist powers. You can cast a Universalist power that you have only by spending spell points, not by using spell slots. Like a cantrip, your Universalist power is automatically heightened to the highest level of spell you can cast. Your maximum number of spell points is equal to your key ability modifier, minimum 0. You regain all your spell points when you prepare your spells. It seems kind of like a big guessing game to have the exact spell and level already prepared for counterspell. So I don't know if our Universalist Wizard will be a counterspelling wizard. SU Materials might be a good one. That was mildly useful as a core class ability. As an optional class ability, that's something you can laugh at while you take something useful. You hate counterspell, Bubonic? So I guess we'll go Hand of the Apprentice. And I guess reach spell, so we can cast farther. And now we can get a 4th level, or we can go back and take a 1st level. You can prepare 2 additional cantrips each day. You start to cast a spell that has a maximum of 2 spellcasting actions. You siphon residual spell energy into one weapon you're wielding. If the weapon is non-magical, it becomes a +1 magic weapon, and one that's already a magic weapon increases by 1. Hi, Memory Lapse. AJ or AG says counterspells for NPCs to annoy your character. Yeah. Yeah. I remember those days of 3rd edition. You're like, really? Did that archwizard really have that spell prepared in that slot? And you're like, yeah, it's totally legit. It was in the spell book and everything. Yeah, counterspell. I don't like that. I don't like how that works. Let's give him Magical Striker as a 4th. Okay, now that we have that. So those are our class feats for our level 5 character here. So we can get rid of this. Let's look at, we get 2 skill feats now. One at level 2 and one at level 4. Well, the one in 2nd level here for Arcane Sense, that lets us cast Detect Magic at will-ish. So that would be a good one to have at level 2. And then at level 4, what else? What else? Oh, I think we're trained. Yeah, we trained in occultism. So why don't we do this and go for a skill of oddity identification. There we go. Turning something non-magical into magical is pretty good. Anything there for magical crafting? There's a system for it. We haven't explored it yet, Usher. Never that useful for wizards sort of turn his own weapon magical. Yeah, it did say your own, but I don't know. Your GM might let you cast it on others. Pneumonica says, so is the gear measured to level as well? In Starfinder, they had like level 8 swords and stuff, not magical swords, just high level swords. The gear doesn't change, but your proficiency with arms and armor increases every level that you get. Alright, so there's our skill feats. We get another Ancestry feat. We are humans. So let's see what humans can do. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we take Clever Improviser? You've learned how to handle situations when you're out of your depth. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to skill checks in which you're untrained. All right, we're going to have to remember to put that in there, okay? You're a human, Ari. We get skill increases at 3 and 5. And I believe that just lets us bump up our proficiency in a skill. At 3rd level and every 2 levels thereafter, most classes grant a skill increase, though rogues gain them earlier and more often. Your character can use this skill to increase to either become trained in one skill or become an expert in one skill in which you're already trained. Okay. So we can bump 2 of our skills with our skill increase. So let's go to expert in Arcana, and let's go expert in, I guess, occultism. I guess that would work. So there's our 3 and there's our 5. We get ability boost at level 5, and that is +2 to 4 different stats. So now we're going to come over here, and we're definitely going to pump up intelligence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then lastly, we have to give we already have our first level hit points already recorded. So we have Arcana is at 1 actually. And so that's retroactive. So that's going to be 5 times 1 for every level. And then for levels beyond well, wait, if that's only 8. Okay. It's not. So if we're a human, we have 8. And then we have 5 levels of our class plus 5 levels of our con. So kind of to retcon, haha. So that's 30 plus 5. We're adding 35 hit points to 8. And so we have 43 hit points at level 5. Let's roll. Odds for males, evens for females. Odds, so we have a boy. I don't know. He's 35. Level 5 character. Wizard. Universalist. Rando Charizian. Alright, so now we need to just fill in the numbers, and then we got to choose spells. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get up and take a stretch. I'm going to refill my water, and we'll come back, and in part 2, we'll now fill in the math portion of this character, and then we'll delve into the spells that are available. Bubonic 1, magic weapons equals super upgraded in Pathfinder 2. Not only do they add bonus to hit, but for every +1, you get 1 additional dice of damage. So a +1 dagger deals 2d4, and for weapons that compound with critting, that bonus also applies to crit damage. Say a great pick, which one it crits ups its damage from d10 to d12, and adds a second d12. Adding +1 to it raises this to 40-12 on a critical hit. Wow. 33 hit points is not that bad of hit points. Well, we're going to be squishy. Hopefully we don't get hit and we stay in the back line. Our fighter has 44 at level 3, for comparison. Bubonic 1, as you can see, in the hands of someone who can fully take advantage of a weapon's crit and its critical specialization effects, can dish out a lot of punishment. Fighter isn't a weakling anymore. Oh, not gonna... not for this. You know, maybe we could do it with another character. Alright, so everyone, quick break. I don't know if I'll be gone the full 10 minutes. I'm gonna just get up and take a little stroll around, get the blood pumping, and get more water. And I'll come back and we'll finish up the character. And then we'll have a chat and see where we go from there. We have a good start on our level 5 wizard. Thank you all for being a part of it so far, and I'll see you soon.